All right, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Behind the Beat. And this is the last one for 2023 before we move into the new year. Wanted to revisit the Proven Knowledge album, Forms of Escapism, which is, obviously we did a couple months ago. Really Love You with Tay and Zach Wilson. Today I wanted to do the introduction song, which is right after the first poem that JayTrey does. It's a track called Chosen. And again, obviously, me and JayTrey, we've made a lot of different songs together, really thousands at this point. So we ended up making this song, I think, in the beginning of the summertime, maybe late spring of this year. It's kind of one of the last songs we did for this project. Really wasn't setting out to have it be a part of this project, but we were kind of looking to finish off the track listing. We had a few openings, and we were like, maybe we should have something like super uplifting to kick off the album. And so we kind of just stumbled upon, this track that we had made. We both really agreed that it would fit in very well. It's very melodic. This is more of a singing song that he does, not a ton of rapping going on here. And initially we set out to have a female singer actually be on the hook of this song. And we sent it to her. She said she loved the song, and she actually told us to just keep it as it is, because she said that, his vocals were, very fitting for the track, and that's what we ended up doing. So this was initially going to have someone else on it, but it just didn't end up that way. But we still think it ended up very, very great at the end of it all. And to me, it's just, like I said, it's kind of the quintessential way to kick off this album. And this album really has so many different layers to it and different styles and sides to it. And we really wanted to showcase that even with what we did. So I think this song just came out super good when it was all said and done. And definitely want to get into it here. As you can see, per usual, not a ton of stuff going on. We have a total of 6 different tracks in this beat that are part of the instrumental. To start off, once again, I've mentioned Slice X before, a sampler that I use a lot, which is for the main element of the keys here. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff real quick. I'll play initially what the full keys sounded like before I chopped them up and rearranged them. So here's what they sounded like. So nothing too complex, but again, I love taking these different arrangements and then making my own arrangement out of it. So I'll skip where the low pass, obviously you can see this right here is the low pass filter. When you hear the beginning of the song, which I'll play in a bit, it kind of just gets in there. And it sounds a little different, but I'll play it from where you can hear the full keys, by themselves. This is what I came up with at the end of it all. So you can hear the contrasting difference between the original and what I came up with. I brightened the tone up a lot from the original that was a lot darker, because I just wanted to go for something more, like I said, uplifting, something that allowed a singer to find their space on too. So that was a big thing. When we move on to the bass line, Poison, this is a plugin in FL Studio that I use a lot, and this bass called the click bass. I use that in a ton of songs. It's kind of become one of my go-to bass sounds since I moved on from Nexus 2. I used to use Nexus 2 on everything. Then I just switched over. So I'll play you that. Obviously, just a pretty simple bass, nothing too crazy. Yeah, so nothing too crazy there. Just sits where it needs to. The drums for these, when me and Jay talk about this song, we mentioned that it has a very Kid Cudi esque vibe to it. And I think I wasn't really setting out to make that type of a beat or that type of a vibe myself, but then when the vocals got added on, I could see what he was talking about there. And I think that these drums especially are very much in the vein of a Kid Cudi song, if you're looking at it from the melodic standpoint. So I'll play them by themselves. It's a very good drum break. Was really a fan of the space that they created and how they end up complementing everything else. But here's the drums just alone first. Like, I don't know, when I think of Kid Cudi songs, I think of, tracks that create a lot more space for the melodic side. They're not really hip hop. They're not really super punchy. They have a lot of space. There's like a shaker in there. There's some different elements that are more spaced out. So that's really what I tried to do there. But I did add this hi-hat in too, to also kind of make it more up tempo, because I still like to add a little bit of flair to it and a little bit of different style. So here is what the hi-hat pattern sounded like. Very simple, but again, that makes it so that there's more energy, especially when you're building into a chorus. I think I always try to do that and just add those different little layers in, so you can definitely tell when it kicks in during the song. When the hook comes in, which is right around here, which we're looking at the 40-second mark initially, and then it repeats at a minute 46. We got another set of counter keys. I used FL keys, which I'll show you here. FL keys, which is, the very basic piano plugin in FL Studio, and I just used the grand piano sound, the most basic sound, added some reverb to it, and here is what I got. I like, especially in when I use keys, I love to create counter melodies, things that are in the same key, but they just add like a different side to it, especially when I do, the chorus part of a song. So that's really just all this is. So nothing too out of the ordinary there. And then the last sound in this beat is the very basic crash. And this one's from the FKI kit in Splice. FKI, super great producer. You've probably heard this crash in many, many, many songs. And I use it quite a lot because it is a really good crash, but I'll let you hear that. That's it. Like, very, very simple, but it does its thing. It's a super, what's the word? To the point crash. Like, it just gets the job done. It doesn't take up too much space. So that is pretty much every sound that went into this beat. So let me play the full thing from where the chorus would be. And there you go. I mean, it's pretty much the meat and potatoes of the track right there. And you can probably hear the difference between the keys that I sampled for, that initial body of the song. They're more of like a synthy, watery, they got a little texture to them. And then the counter melody keys are very simple, more traditional. I like to do that too and just contrast the styles. And I think it came out really cool. Bassline plays its part. Like I said, those drums, I love how the drum break itself just kind of has its own vibe. And then when I add the hi-hats in, it just gave it that more up-tempo energy when it got to the chorus. I mean, so that's just really what this one was. And like I said, it gives off super, Kid Cudi-esque vibes. You guys could probably think of more artists that you could hear on this as well. And as you can see, I mean, the song structure is not too complicated either. Where we got our choruses here, a little bit of outro, another like 2-minute beat. But I think it just served its purpose for, being the intro to this project, to Forms of Escapism and where it falls. And we did the visualizer for it that a lot of people enjoyed. You can check that out here on my YouTube channel. I have it posted as well if you want to see that. And I just, yeah, very, very proud of how this record came out. Me and Jay just have a lot of synergy, and another one in the books, I think. So, once again, I want to say appreciate you guys for tuning in, watching these videos. This was the last one for this year, 2023, since, we're coming to an end here. We're looking at 2024. I don't know which one I'm going to be doing next month. There is a good amount of songs I'll be dropping here very soon. Self-releasing a lot of music. Got some placements coming up too, which I'm excited about. So I'll just have to, see what comes to mind for January, what I want to do. But if you're new to this channel, definitely check out the type beats. I post a type beat every other day. Check out all the links in the description of this video. My BeatStars, if you're looking to, get some instrumentals, you want to hear a great weekly interview series about music, check out the Proven Knowledge podcast on all platforms. I'm excited for what's going to be the 4th full year of that podcast. If you're looking to be a guest, please reach out, send an email, anthonychurch24@gmail.com. If you're not subscribed already to this channel, please do that. That would be great. I appreciate it. I hope you guys just are enjoying the content and gonna have a lot more planned for the new year. So once again, I want to say appreciate you guys for watching, sticking with me this year. This Behind the Beat relaunch is kind of a new thing still, but I'm looking forward to doing it for a full year in 2024. So we'll see you guys then, and have a great new year. Have a great holiday, all that good stuff. And we'll see you in January.